Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is May 1st, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1965, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Tim Storm. 1983, veteran independent wrestler Human Tornado. 1988, England's own Joe Hendry. And last but not least, 1990, it's Big Ace Romero. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for May 1st. 1999, Jos Leduc. 2003, Miss Elizabeth. 2018, Universo dos Mil. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for May 1st. 1965, Worldwide Wrestling Federation World Champion Bruno Sammartino defeats Waldo Von Erich in Paterson, New Jersey at a matinee event. That evening in Baltimore, Maryland, Gorilla Monsoon and Bill Watts defeated World Champion Bruno Sammartino in Bobo, Brazil. 1967, Professor Turo Tanaka pinned Worldwide Wrestling Federation World Champion Bruno Sammartino. The champ's leg was under the ropes during the cover, and thus the title did not change hands. Jump into the 80s, 1981, Harley Race defeats Tommy Rich for the NWA World Heavyweight title in Gainesville, Georgia. This ended Rich's reign after only 4 days and began Harley's 6th NWA title run. Staying in 1981, Gene and Ole Anderson defeat Paul Jones and the Masked Superstar for the NWA World Tag Team titles in Richmond, Virginia. This would begin the 8th and final NWA World Tag Team title run for Gene and Ole. And one last stop in 1981, Bob Backlund defended the WWF title against NWF World Champion Antonio Inoki in Mexico City, Mexico. The two fought to a draw in a best 2 out of 3 falls match. Fall 1, Backlund pinned Inoki with a body press at 18:05. Fall 2, Inoki pinned Backlund with a body press at 5:17. Fall 3, a double countout at 8:01. Only Backlund's WWF title was on the line. 1987, Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat rematched their WrestleMania 3 Classic inside a steel cage as the main event of a WWF event in Uniondale, New York. Steamboat won after Savage accidentally kicked him out of the cage door. Grabbing our flannels and going to the 90s, 1990, Paul Heyman returned to the NWA as Paul E. Dangerously during a TV taping in Rainsville, Alabama, kicking off his second and most successful run with the promotion. During this run, Heyman would rise to the main event position as a leader of the Dangerous Alliance, work as a broadcaster for the NWA WCW, until being fired in 1992, setting the stage to become the booker and eventual owner of ECW. 1992, a planned WWF event in Long Beach, California, is canceled due to the Rodney King riots on the West Coast. 1993, Brian Christopher defeats Jeff Jarrett for the USWA Southern Heavyweight title in Memphis, Tennessee, starting his 8th run with the title while ending Jarrett's 7th. Staying in 1993, the WWF runs 3 events on the same day. First, the matinee in Landover, Maryland at the Capitol Center sees Bret Hart defeat Lex Luger in the main event. The second event in Rochester, New York has the main event of Rick and Scott Steiner defeating WWF Tag Team Champions Money Inc. by a disqualification. And that evening show in Uniondale, Long Island, New York has the same finish as the first show, with Bret Hart defeating Lex Luger via disqualification. 1994 sees Shinya Hashimoto defeat Tatsunumi Fujinami for the IWGP Heavyweight title, ending Fujinami's 5th run with New Japan's top title and starting his 2nd. 1995, Jerry Lawler defeats Razor Ramon for the USWA Unified Heavyweight title, starting his 21st run with the belt. On the same show, PG-13 defeat Brickhouse Brown and the Gambler for the USWA Tag Team titles. This would begin JC Ice and Wolfie D's 7th run with the straps. 1998, All Japan Pro Wrestling held its biggest show in company's history, their first event at the Tokyo Dome. Previously, All Japan had run the Dome as part of joint promotions with other companies. The show drew 58,000 fans. The main event sees Kawada defeat Misawa to win the All Japan Triple Crown. 1998, Booker T defeats Chris Benoit for the WCW World Television title in Greenville, South Carolina, beginning his 3rd reign. Those were your pro wrestling history highlights for May 1st. I'm the Eclectic Gentleman, Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.